The shocking truth: why 3-year-olds drank beer in medieval Europe. Imagine walking into a village in 13th century Europe. Cobblestone streets, stone cottages, and toddlers holding wooden mugs of beer. No, this isn't a joke. This was daily life in the Middle Ages. Water was more dangerous than death in medieval Europe. Clean water was a fantasy. Rivers, wells, and communal streams were filled with decaying waste, human filth, and animal remains. Drinking water was like spinning a wheel of death, diarrhea, fever, or worse. For many, water meant a death sentence. So, what did people drink to survive? Beer. The brewing process: boiling water, fermenting with yeast killed deadly bacteria. Without knowing it, medieval people had stumbled upon nature's version of water Yes, even children drank it. Everyone drank beer: men, women, monks, and children. Even 3-year-olds were given small beer, a low-alcohol version made for hydration rather than intoxication. It was common, accepted, and even recommended by healers of the time. One document from the 14th century reads, "Better a child drink mild ale than risk death from cursed water." Monasteries. The beer tech labs of the Middle Ages. Monks weren't just praying, they were brewing. Many monasteries produced the highest quality beer of their era. They experimented with herbs, refined their techniques, and created different grades of beer for different meals. In some towns, laborers were paid with up to 9 mugs of beer a day and took home 3 liters every evening for the family. Beer was more valuable than silver. But were they drunk all day? Surprisingly, no. Medieval beer was often what we'd call green beer, barely fermented, almost non. It tasted like watered-down malt, and its job was to hydrate and protect, not to intoxicate. If you brought a bottle of mineral water into a medieval village, people would treat you like a wizard, maybe even a god. Clean water could make you king. In regions plagued by drought and disease, clean water was as rare as royal blood. Some kings were assassinated by poisoned wells. In contrast, beer kept the peasants alive. A real account from northern Germany tells of a foreign traveler who carried water from a distant mountain spring. After curing a nobleman's sickness simply by giving him this magic water, he was rewarded like a saint. Locals whispered, "That man drinks from the gods." This isn't just a joke today. We might laugh at kids drinking beer, but for medieval Europeans, it was a matter of survival. No science, no filtration, no medicine, just beer. Beer wasn't a vice, it was a lifeline. Beer was part of the daily diet. Beer was not just a drink, it was part of the medieval meal plan. Breakfast with bread and cheese, add a pint, midday stew, wash it down with ale, supper by candlelight, more beer. It was an indulgence, it was nutrition. Beer contained grains, yeast, and even vitamins. Monks called it liquid bread. It gave energy to laborers and filled bellies during famine. Some scholars argue that beer consumption helped drive the agricultural economy. Barley fields expanded. Brewing techniques became more refined. Even trade routes formed around beer production. One Flemish town had more breweries than houses. In Bruges, beer was so vital that they built a 2-mile beer pipeline under the city centuries later. Proof that the legacy lives on. Beer is medicine. Before modern medicine, people believed in the healing power of beer. Infused with herbs like sage or thyme, beer became a delivery system for folk remedies. Brewers and healers collaborated to create ales that could ease stomach pain, boost appetite, and even reduce fevers. Medieval medical texts often prescribed beer for recovery. In one instance, a monk wrote, "A pint of ale with honey may calm the soul and restore the blood." Beer and the plague. When the Black Death swept through Europe, many thought beer could offer protection. While it didn't stop the plague, beer's boiled water base still made it safer than the tainted wells. Interestingly, some plague survivors were monks who never drank water-only beer. This unintentional social distancing via diet may have helped some communities avoid mass infection. Beer and social class, the kind of beer you drank, said something about who you were. The rich had access to stronger, sweeter brews made with imported spices and hops. The poor drank the bland, weak, green beer brewed in communal barrels. But beer was the one drink that crossed social lines. From kings to beggars, everyone needed it. At royal banquets or peasant weddings, beer was always present. Festivals and brewing contests. Brewing wasn't just a chore, it was a competitive art. Every village had festivals where brewers presented their best. The winner gained honor, business, and often the chance to brew for the local lord. Women, especially widows, played a major role in brewing. Called alewives, they turned brewing into a profession. Some even became wealthy and influential in their towns. Legacy of medieval beer culture. Medieval beer culture paved the way for today's brewing industry. Many of our modern beer styles, pilsner, stouts, trace their roots to experiments in monastic breweries and medieval taverns. Next time you sip a craft beer, remember, you're participating in a tradition that's over 1,000 years old. History isn't just facts. It's flavor, survival, and humanity in a mug.